welcome back to another episode of hashtag Screw the W2. And today's guest I bring on, a fellow Minnesotan, I should say, Ryan Spence. Ryan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, you bet. Now, Ryan, maybe you can, for my guests that are familiar with you and familiar with your story, can you take us back to what was your previous W2 job? What was it? What was it like? What was an average day like for you?
Sure. Yeah. So it was about a year ago when it was in my previous W-2 job. It's almost a year anniversary. So
Okay,
perfect timing.
congrats.
We're on this session. But yeah, it was in the mortgage industry. So I was in a large corporation. We'll just leave it at that. And then, I actually had really close to the dream job that I'd had in a W-2 situation. I was teaching process improvement for a large organization. I was teaching people how to lead process improvement projects. So I'm a
Okay.
certified master black belt in Lean Six Sigma, which is a project or process improvement / project management methodology that I loved. But I got to a point where, so I was teaching a lot, which I loved. Sometimes I was working on leading projects as well. Um, Honestly, day to day, it wasn't too bad, but I was definitely feeling very spiritually disconnected
Okay.
still. And that's what caused me to want to leave.
Gotcha. Makes sense. So now you had mentioned like disconnected. Was there like a certain date or time where like that really stands out for you? Like at 9:05 a.m. on March 23rd or something, I knew I had to get out, or was it like more of a series of moments that you realized this isn't for me?
Yeah, great question. I'd say it's probably a series of the same moment over and over because
Okay.
really there was several times I was trying to leave this organization, but they kept giving me promotions. I kept getting a better job. So I kept staying with it, but it was really more of the continuing like, okay, well, wanting to use my gifts to help, and not help a corporation, a $1 billion corporation, just save hundreds of thousands of dollars. I want to help small businesses, medium-sized businesses, help the government be more efficient. And so it was really just a series of that kind of keep continuing pinging in my head over the last several years.
Gotcha. Yeah, what's the old adage? It's death by a thousand paper cuts, I think they say in the corporate world, where it's just same thing again and again and again and again.
Yeah, I actually I do a lot of one-on-one coaching with people that are in the corporate space, and
Okay.
and especially the last couple of weeks, they're starting to realize like, oh, every time I get a promotion or every time I get more money, I think I'm happy, but I'm not really happy. I continue to get in the cycle every couple of months after that happens. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's like
I'm
a
bringing awareness to that, and you know, inadvertently kind of shifting their reality, like, oh, maybe I should be a consultant, right? Like what we're doing.
Yeah, it's like one golden handcuff after another. It's like, well, I got a
Exactly.
promotion. Wait, I'm in a higher tax bracket. Oh, now instead of 40 hours a week, I work 50 hours a week.
Mhm.
Actually, I'm making less per hour than I was before, even though I got this promotion. And the rat race cycle continues on. So, but looking back, was there once you had kind of had this realization, this isn't for me, and maybe I should go into the consulting space or something different. Did you have any plans or any steps set out of this is how I'm going to leave the large this large mortgage giant?
Yeah. I would say I had somewhat of a plan. So I had my spiritual awakening about 3 years ago, and that's what led me to feeling like, oh, I need to be a coach and I also need to
Okay.
consult. So so maybe almost to your previous question, it was maybe almost 3 years ago that I got that inkling, but then I started piecing it together with my corporate career. But really I was trying to do my business while I was working my corporate job, and that was going okay, but I was actually really struggling for, a good year. So, whatever, about maybe mid 2021 to mid 2022, we'll just say roughly range, maybe a little bit before
Okay.
that, but really like thinking, oh, do I actually quit my job and go for this plunge and doing my business? And that just sounds so scary. I've always been really financially sound. I've always had, you know, I manifested this beautiful condo that I have, which is also very expensive. I live in downtown Minneapolis, which is very expensive. So I'm like, that's too crazy to do that. So kind of my plan really was to stick it out until I could get laid off, because I had a feeling there was going to be
Okay.
layoffs that were going to happen. So what I did in 2021 is I informed my manager, I'm like, you know what, just especially since I was in the teaching side, those are almost always the first departments that are laid off, even
Mm-hmm.
though we needed to be developing people. We usually cut away, or corporations cut away from that. So I told them, I'm like, hey, you know what? If we end up doing layoffs, you can lay me off. It's fine. I know I'll get it. I know I've been there for almost 18 years. So I knew I was going to get a
Wow.
10-month severance package. So that was also why it was so hard to leave. Cause I'm like, oh man, I don't want to give up that potential severance package. So
Mm-hmm.
my plan was really to wait it out. And then it finally happened last April. And it was just such a blessing.
Okay. So then just so depending on when the listeners are listening to this, whether it's now, a year from now, or 20 years from now, who knows what once it hits cyberspace, but this was April of 2022, then you left your corporate job.
Yep, that's correct. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. Sounds good. Now with that, being said, Ryan, I know you said you spent 18 years in this the corporate environment. Was there anything you missed or any regrets from leaving your W-2 job?
The initial thought is no. I mean, having said that, I am actually seeing a lot more gratitude in the last couple of months as I help other businesses with finding structure and just seeing all the skills that I have built up. I was dreading being in this corporate environment for so long, and very jaded, and the kind of pessimistic about it. I'm actually finally coming from a place of gratitude for what I did experience and all those lessons I had to learn, and learning how to use Excel so well, learning reporting and data analysis, and working on projects, and all the skills I've learned. I'm having a much greater appreciation for it. But having said that, I know I'm in the right spot. I don't miss
Mm,
it, and I knew it was really meant to be to leave when I left, and to be on the path that I am now with solely doing my business of coaching and consulting.
sure. No, makes sense. Now on the flip side, Ryan, and again, as we're you're going on the year two of going on your own business journey, what's been the best thing since you left the W-2, and what's been maybe the greatest thing about doing your consulting business?
Hmm. I mean, I think the best thing for me truly has been the rest, away from the corporate rat race, the golden handcuffs. The there's a lot of people in my building that are retired and have become consultants and such, and almost a lot of them have really reflected on their own careers, and they've had a big disconnect, like where they got laid off or they just decided to start their own business. So it's been incredibly awesome for me to just have this space to rest and not have to worry about money for especially those 10 months. Plus, I have a lot of money saved up anyways. But just to be like, oh, this is what life can be like without having to have this corporate entity kind of attached to, and get to just really truly build my own life. Because you mentioned golden handcuffs. That's the term I used a lot. I don't know if I ever would have broken away without having that severance package. So it's just, I think the best thing has been the rest. Yeah.
Yep, I was whoops, sorry about that. I think I can definitely attest to that. And just the rest and maybe freedom of time is probably the biggest thing that I've enjoyed in my will be 4 years come September now. So Ryan, for anyone that listening out there maybe finds themselves in a similar predicament that you were in, or maybe just as tired of the corporate, rat race, tired of the grind, so to speak, but maybe just feels stuck, like you said, the golden handcuffs. I can't leave because of health insurance, the pension, the benefits, whatever the case may be. What advice would you give to them to make that leap of faith, if you will, to make that first step of leaving the security of a W-2 job and going, to a self-employed route?
Yeah, what a great question. I love this question because I just helped a couple of my clients last week with this that have been in the corporate rat race. And so, and actually, I actually offer a template for this, a pretty inexpensive template to just,
Okay.
you could all, I mean, people that are skilled in Excel and finances and stuff like that can do it fairly easily, but really just make sure you understand truly the amount of income you really need in your life. Um, right? We keep continue to say, oh, if I can't give it up because of benefits. I'm like, well,
Mhm.
the benefits are only like $200 a month, and
Yep.
like, then does it really matter, right? Or obviously, I mean, it's first and foremost as humans. I mean, the corporate jobs, they provide us some safety, but once we get past that safety, we're like, oh, we want more. So create your own safety here. Get a spreadsheet, get your tax account, buy one of my templates, or work with you, or work with me, work with somebody to help feel safety for that potential scenario of, but if I did leave my job, right?
Hmm.
Build yourself a financial plan. You don't have to do it right away. Just get the numbers on paper, say, oh, well, if I left and I didn't work for a year, I'd be able to still have the same standard of living for 9 months or 12
Hmm.
months or, whatever it is. And that's what I've done, right? Is I looked at my savings. I could have took another job the next day, but I'm like, nope, this is the clean break I need. I have
Yeah.
savings, I have severance package. I need to experience this. So find safety in the money, in the numbers, have it conquer on paper. It's not enough to just have it in the back of your mind to say, oh, I would, be screwed after 2 months. Really look at it and then
Yeah.
create a plan.
No, no, it makes sense. Now, Ryan, as we close out this, and again, I want to thank you for taking the time to, share your story with my listeners. For lack of a better marketing title, I call this the unscrewed moment. But is there anything you want to share that you're most excited about 2023, or any new projects you're working on, or maybe just reach out with your resources if anyone else wants to see what you're up to and maybe coaching for their independent business?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, as far as an opportunity, I'm really excited about. I actually manifested, and this is what helps me have this validation that this is the right path. Is actually the city of Minneapolis reached out to me to do some business consulting, which is a dream of mine because that's one of the things I feel very connected to is helping government be more efficient.
Okay.
So, looking forward to partnering with them on a contract opportunity, but just helping more and more, you know, whether it's a brand new business, helping you get kind of set up and or have your thoughts organized, or large businesses like
Mhm.
with the government. I mean, or large entities, I should say, and can help you with anything. So I love solving problems. So um, anybody that wants help with being more structured, being more organized, and have be more efficient, I mean, I can help you out.
Okay. Makes sense. Sounds good. Well, with that, for all those listening, I'll be sure to tag Ryan's YouTube channel, Instagram, and other websites and resources so you can reach out. And whether you're a large city like Minneapolis or maybe a smaller government entity or anywhere in between, I'm sure there's definitely services that Ryan will be able to provide you. So, with that, Ryan, thanks again for joining us on the show and hope you have a great rest of the week.
Thank you.